Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, March 28th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Athletics versus the Seattle Mariners, game number 2 in the set. What a emotional win last night when it could have went south really, really quick. But big ups to Randy Arozarena and our guy Jorge Polanco going 3 for 3 and getting that 2-run blast late in the matchup in the 8th to get us the victory. Can't wait to be able to see what we're going to get here today. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Friday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we didn't have a very good game yesterday, but don't be surprised if he has a good one today. Right fielder, Lawrence Butler. And on the right, you know what it is. It's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the visiting Athletics. Leading off for the Athletics in right field, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, DHing for the A's, Brent Rooker. Batting third, playing center field, J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching tonight for the A's, Jay Langeliers. Batting fifth with 2 home runs last night in a losing effort, first baseman Tyler Soderstrom. Batting sixth, entering the lineup for the first time in 2025, left fielder Seth Brown. Batting seventh, playing third base, Gio Urshela. Batting eighth, playing second base, Max Muncy. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Athletics, Jacob Wilson. And making his debut on the mound, Jeffrey Springs. We'll see if we can find a better photo of Springs. That was really the only one I could find last minute, but we'll see if we can find something a little bit better. Now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in right field, Victor Robles. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, DHing tonight for the M's, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing left field for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena. Big home run late last night. I see you. Making his debut in the 5-hole, catching tonight for Cal Raleigh, Mitch Carver. And hopefully Mitch can step it up just like his boy Polo did last night. And maybe the biggest surprise for anyone that didn't watch spring training, but this was our hottest player or one of the hottest players in spring training. Let's see if he can carry it over from game 1 to game number 2. He went 3 for 3 and went deep. I love ya. Third baseman this year, Jorge Polanco. Let's go Polo. Batting seventh, playing first base, straight from the Padres. They don't have any photos of him in the Mariner uniform, really, my standard on the channel yet, so we're going to stick with this one for now. Making his debut in 2025 for the Mariners, Donovan Solano. Batting eighth, playing second base for the M's, making his debut in 2025, Demo Dylan Moore. And batting ninth, playing shortstop to close out the game with that double play, J.P. Crawford. And on the mound, it is La Piedra, Luis Castillo. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Odin in the building. What's good? Sarah in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. We're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 if we get the volume, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go. Yeah, going to be on SmackDown next week, I heard. Yes, very excited about that as well. Malachi Black. Joe in the building, what's good? Dylan in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. You know, and things could have went really south, you know, yesterday, especially, you know, when you get down early. And, you know, when you get down early, sometimes, you know, it ends up wearing on the team. And, you know, when it's 1-0 and then it ends up being 1-1, or if it ends up being 2-0 and then it goes to 2-1 and then 2-2. And then things started cooking for us once we got down 2-1. Randy Arozarena with a solo jack. And when he threw that bat, it went into the turf and into that dirt. Quite a few feet. I love it. And then the big hero, 3 for 3 last night. One of the best games in his career, Jorge Polanco. Had a line drive early in the game that he stuffed and ended up getting a nice out. That carried the Uncle Mo and that momentum to allow him to get a couple singles and really was the only guy that had hits for us until late in the game after starting pitching with Severino and Gilbert went out. And God bless Randy Arozarena and Jorge Polanco. You never know who's going to be the hero day in and day out. We're wearing the Fresh City Connects with the blue and the black pants. Luis Castillo on the mound, and I am ready. Let's go, baby. And on the mound for the M's, Luis Castillo. And the first individual in the box will be Lawrence Butler. First pitch to Lawrence Butler. He takes that strike right into Randy Arozarena's glove. One away. We'll take that. Got to be a little bit more patient there, Lawrence. Lawrence and Brent did not have a very good game yesterday, but don't be surprised if they turn it around at some point in the series, if not tonight. Next up, in the 2-hole, DHing Brent Rooker. First pitch to Brent Rooker. Back, all the way to the warning track. Julio Rodriguez. No. Victor Robles. 2 away. And they are really chasing that first pitch strike, which I don't blame them because, you know, Luis Castillo, he isn't the greatest. He's probably our worst pitcher, you know, as far as our starting 5 if Kirby was healthy. But since Kirby is hurt, it'll be obviously Emerson Hancock as the worst, Castillo probably being second worst. But I'll take that. 2 pitches and 2 quick outs, even though that could have been a home run. 2 away. Next up, center fielder J.J. Bleday. 1-0 pitch to Bleday. Pitch is outside to Garver. 2 balls and no strikes. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday evening. .2-0 pitch, right down the seam, fell behind the plate. In that Muckleshoot little sign back there. 2 balls and 1 strike. To center fielder J.J. Bleday. 2-1 pitch. Right down the seam, crushed, fading, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I don't got a whole lot of confidence in Emerson Hancock or Luis Castillo. And honestly, I don't even know why Castillo is pitching in the 2 spot. Pitches low and into the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full. Because again, I know he was the guy that was like opening day pitcher for the last few years. But again, in 2022, when we got him, he was good, but he's been declining ever since. And maybe that's just try to, you know, give him that confidence to put him in that 2 spot. But realistically, he should probably be in the 4 spot. I think Bryce Miller and Brian Wu are better, But we'll see how Luis does La Piedra here tonight as he walks J.J. Bleday. Now we're going to need a double play. No. We're only going to need a force out, but we'll see how it goes. Next up for the Athletics, catcher Shea Langoliers. I mean, every once in a while, Hancock and Castillo will have like a decent game, but I definitely wouldn't be betting on them of having a great game every single start that they have. I mean, if they do, it'll be like Polo from yesterday. It'll be a big surprise, but the Polo thing really wasn't a surprise for me just because I watched a lot of spring training and he actually really turned his mechanics around, and we didn't know how good defensively he'd be at third at a new position, but he's looked like he's been adapting to the new position pretty well, and obviously he's got a better eye, for the ball in 2025. And if we didn't have Polo on the team yesterday, we would have definitely lost. Big facts. Top of the first, runner at first with the walk. 2 outs, 1-1 pitch from Castillo to Langoliers. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the first, 0-0, Athletics and Mariners. Let's go. And we had a good turnout yesterday, and hopefully, we can get a few more people to come through as the game goes along. Pitches high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, La Piedra. Get the Mariner fan base back on your side because we don't really have a whole lot of confidence. I mean, we root for you, but again, it just seems like, he doesn't really have the top end speed and he doesn't have the location. And that's really what worries, I think, Mariner fans, including myself. Again, you'll know if it's going to be a good game for him early on. But again, now with a 3-2 count and another walk, again, this is what we kind of feared. When Luis is on La Piedra, he doesn't necessarily need to strike out the side, but he usually doesn't give up anything within the first maybe 2 to 4 innings. But, when he gets roughed up and things look kind of bleak, he gets roughed up early, for a run to 3 runs within the first 2 innings. And if we don't get out of this fucking inning, that's what we're going to be looking at. And 3-2 pitches outside. The Langoliers, and we got runners at first and second. Holy hell. Come on now. And next up for the Athletics, the man that hit 2 home runs on opening day, just like Adley Rutschman, as well as Cedric Mullins for the Orioles, Tyler Soderstrom. And I hope to God that he doesn't just try to paint it right down the middle, because if Soderstrom does what he did yesterday, we're going to be down 3-0 in about 30 seconds. Come on, baby. First pitch to Soderstrom on the corner for a strike. Let's go and get this last out, baby. Come on now. I don't like the 2 walks, but again, it'll be totally fine if we don't give up anything big. Runners at first and second with 2 walks from La Piedra. 0-1 pitch to Soderstrom with 2 home runs on opening day. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So I can already tell in this particular, Luis Castillo performance for his debut in game number 2 for the M's, a little shaky. But let's see if we can get out of the inning. Chopper towards first. Little flip to La Piedra. Good job getting to first. There we go. No damage is done. Hey, they had 2 walks, and it's a little concerning, but they don't make us pay any price for it. And let's go to the bottom of the first inning, and we're knotted up here at 0. Leading off for the Mariners in right field, Victor Robles. And I would love for Victor to drop down a bunt, within the first couple at-bats. It's not something that any pitcher would expect. And again, he is actually one of the better bunters in the league. And again, a lot of times when you bunt, pitchers and infielders freak out. And a lot of times they'll overthrow first base. And sometimes you can even get a double out of a simple bunt. Let's see what Victor Robles does here today. Batting second, center fielder, J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. And batting third in a DH role today, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He's just getting over food poisoning from a couple days ago, so we'll see how the bat looks. Compared to yesterday, the top part of the order was a little light, but again, it doesn't matter how you start the game; it's how you finish. And we'll see what we get here today from the start of the top of the order with Robles, Rodriguez, and Raleigh. Let's go. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We got about half of the people in the room that have done it. The faster that we can get to 20 likes, the faster that we can hit the algorithm. So we're at 10 now, 10 more to go to hit 20, and we're going to be trying to shoot 20 to 50 by the time this matchup is over. Let's get it. STL in the building. What's good? Victor Robles batting 307 last season, the only one that batted over 300. Julio 273, Raleigh 220, Randy Arozarena 219, and we're going to get those numbers up. Don't you worry. But again, as a team, we were batting about 200 to 220 for the last 3 years, and 3 out of the last 4 years, besides in 2022 and Julio's rookie year, we missed the playoffs by just a game. So you got to think, we're not that far from really making a deep run, especially in the last 4 years. We either made the playoffs, or we missed it by a game. So again, I assume that we can definitely get to 90 wins this season, and if we can get that, we're going to win the AL West. Jeffrey Springs on the mound. 1-1 count to Victor Robles. Go, Victor. One of my favorites on the team. Little check swing there. Takes a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Victor Robles. Big swing and a miss. What a nasty pitch by Springs right there. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Try dance up, baby. We need you this year. 30-30, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bags, 40 home runs, 40 stolen bags. We don't really know what version of Julio we're going to get, but I'm hoping that we go for the higher number of the two. Pitch is high and outside, 1-0 count. But it's really about Julio being patient in the box and not being off balance in his swings, being able to pull the baseball and not trying to have every at bat, you're trying to hit the baseball to the fucking moon. It's okay to get singles. You hurt the team by striking out or having shitty swings. So hopefully we can get Julio going at some point in the game. 1-1 pitch from Springs to Rodriguez. Crushes that one towards third base. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Springs drafted by the Rangers in 2015 in the 30th round. He's 32 years old from Belmont, North Carolina. Jacob in the building. What's good? We play every single team in Major League Baseball. Back in the day, you used to not play, some of the teams in the opposite league. But the way that they've reconstructed the schedule, you pretty much play everyone at some point during the season. So we will be playing the Guardians, and it will be a challenge. 2 away. Next up, big dumper, fresh off that 6-year, $105 million extension, no trade clause, all smiles, and we are happy. He had a nice little interview with the media, obviously a couple hours ago. He got a little emotional and teared up about all the love and support that he has gotten from his family and his mom and his dad, the teammates and the organization, and hopefully Cal can bring the heat with the bat here today. Even though I like him obviously swinging from the left side rather than the right side, but that's why the lineup looks a little bit different today because we have a lefty on the mound for the A's. Pitch is outside for the first, pitch is inside for the second. 2-0 count to Big Dumper. Let's go, Cal. 2-0 pitch on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's go, Cal. Try dance up, baby. Let's go. We need one of these. 2-1 pitch right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Cal. Lauren in the building. What's good? Two pitch. Pitch is low and outside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows for sure how good the Cardinals are going to be. You know, some people think it might be a bad year. It might be a middle, of the pack type of year. But again, no one really knows yet. But one thing is for sure, it's great when you can start off the year 1-0. So regardless of what anyone says, winning that first game was big for you guys. And pitch is high and inside. Cal takes the walk. All right, baby, let's go. Couple walks, obviously, for Castillo, La Piedra. A walk here for Jeffrey Springs. Next up, one of the heroes for the Mariners in the 8th inning last night to get the game tied 2-2. Left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Bring that electricity, baby. Let's go. Reflect in the building. What's good? Pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 count to Randy Arozarena. 20 home runs, 60 ribbies last season, and he can do much more than that in 2025. Springs gets Randy to chase at a bad pitch. That one is fading foul. How's it going, Reflect? How are you? Lauren, how are you? Congratulations on the new baby. The family has gotten bigger for Lauren. Oh-2 pitch. And chases a pitch outside of the zone. Come on, Randy. Got to be better than that. And that is an easy 1-2-3 inning. End of the first. Very similar to yesterday. And we're knotted up at 0. But Reflect was the MVP yesterday, and we got some good numbers. We hit 1,300 people on the stream yesterday. We had, 60-plus likes, which is always good when you can get over 50. Hell, it's always good when you can get over 20. And then once you get over 20, then the next goal is, 50. And then if you can get to 50, you try to shoot for 75 or 100. But obviously, we hit the goal on the likes. We hit the goal on the donos because of Reflect and many others. And again, I appreciate you guys very much. But most importantly, besides Reflect being an MVP, as well as the others that liked, sub, donated, and commented, as well as getting some newbies to sub to the channel, we won the game yesterday with Randy Arozarena, but specifically Polo going 3 for 3. And it kind of reminds me of the hot start that Jared Kelenic had when he was on our team a few years back, when he was hot in spring training as really the only guy, and it carried over into the regular season. Unfortunately for the Mariners in that year, if you remember, he was really the only one that was good for the first 60 games. So I think that we're going to have more than just one player that breaks out. And again, you have to be patient. You had some people coming in here yesterday talking shit, thinking that we're going to be terrible because the score was 0-0 or low scoring at 1-0 or 2-1. RELAX. It's the first game. You have to understand when we have one of the top 2, top 3 pitching staffs with the Phillies and the Dodgers. Everyone knows that. But remember, we're bottom 5 hitting team for the last 3 to 4 years, batting about 200 to 220 as a team, not just a player, but as a team. So again, it's going to take time, but if we can stay healthy, with the bullpen, as well as our starters and the pitching staff, prayers up for Kirby and that shoulder. He should be ready in about a couple weeks. I really do honestly feel we can win 88 to 90 games, and it's not going to be the Astros or the Rangers or the A's or the Angels. It's going to be the year of Seattle and the year of the Mariners. Let's go. Someone has to be the voice of reason, especially on social media and YouTube. And no one is going to cover the Mariners, as well as have super intelligent people in the room that watch this game very closely, like myself. And again, I'm happy that we got that dub yesterday. It was definitely hard to sleep, but a good kind of, I don't want to say I was uneasy, but maybe a little overly excited after that big dub. Little dribbler, throw to La Piedra, tag to first, 1 away. Nothing there for Seth Brown making his debut here in 2025. Next up, third baseman Gio Urshela. Let's go, La Piedra. Let's get it, baby. 2 walks in that first inning I don't like, but at least Soderstrom didn't go yard. Because if he would have, that would have sucked all the momentum, out of us, and we might have, I don't want to say instantly lost, but when you get down 3-0, we're not really known as a team that can score a lot, but we did get 4 in game number 1, and if we can get, 4 to 5 runs, we're going to be almost unstoppable. Again, it's just those games that we get like 0 to 3. And obviously when you get 0, you can't win. But when you get 1, we're not lucky enough to win games 1-0. Maybe we were years ago, but not recently. And even games that end up being 2-1 or 3-2, not really what we're looking for. We need to be able to put up the production to help that pitching staff and give them a little bit of relief. So that way, if they do give up an early homer or an early RBI, the game essentially isn't over just yet. One-two pitch, crushed foul. Top of the second, 0-0, Athletics and Mariners. La Piedra on the mound. Gio Urshela in the box. I did see that. I was going to message you. Little slow dribbler, and that is a hit. First hit there for Gio Urshela here in game number 2. Next up, not the Dodgers' Max Muncy, but second baseman prospect Max Muncy. You know what? I don't know. If I'm really being honest, I bought 2 of his fucking jerseys for like, more than $300 total. They were like $150 to $175 because I got the expensive sewn one. Looking back on it now, if I knew that he was only going to be on the team with his rookie deal, I would have bought Levante David jerseys with that money for home and away. But, obviously, he got a little lazy or maybe complacent after winning the Super Bowl, which I didn't like seeing. He ended up getting benched, then ended up going, to the Texans, got cut, went to the Eagles, got cut, and now he's going to be on the Raiders. So I'm not sure if you're going to get anything out of him, but I am sure that if he's motivated and if Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly and the rest of the team can come together, and they can get him to be even, a shell of the player that when he was on the Buccaneers, when he was good, that could be a decent low risk signing. And, I'm not saying that he'll ever be a Pro Bowl, all-pro linebacker ever again. He probably has a better chance of being, cut and being retired, if we're being honest. But I'm pulling for him. Again, he was great at LSU. If we didn't have him on the Bucs, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. And, again, it's just crazy to see a player be so good the first couple years and then kind of just, maybe lose the love for the game. I know he loves horses and he loves, the aspect of them racing and taking care of them, as you've seen him trot around on some of his horses, inside of the stadium when we won the Super Bowl. But I don't know if he's lost passion for the game and he's just collecting a paycheck now, but I'm hoping that he does good with the Raiders. Slow dribbler, double play opportunity. Safe at first. Fuck. Fielder's choice there. I need to see a replay. Fans are booing there in Seattle. That man in the building, what's good? That was close. Top of the second. Runner at first. Slow dribbler. Throw to first. Got him. There we go. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning. We're still knotted up at 0. Little slow dribbler for Jacob Wilson. Nothing. It's a no-go for him. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Making his debut in 2025. Hopefully he can have success like the guy that we brought in with him at the same time. Let's go. Catcher today for Cal Raleigh, Mitch Garver. And Garver actually was having a pretty good spring training too. He was hitting home runs and seeing the ball better. So I don't expect him to be like Polo yesterday, but don't be surprised if Garver ends up getting a hit tonight. Hopefully two. Batting second, the hero yesterday, 3 for 3 and a 2-run blast to win the game for us. Third baseman, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, newly acquired from the Padres in the offseason, first baseman today, Donovan Solano. They don't have any good Mariner photos of him yet, but after today's game, I assume that the photographers will take a few, and then I'll be able to have a photo of him not in a Padre uniform and in something in better colors in blue and yellow. Let's go, M's. Now I'll go get my drink here real quick. Give me 1 sec. And if we can keep track of the likes as well, if you can see them on your end, Sarah, I'd appreciate it as well, unless someone else wants to handle that duty. Slow dribbler by Mitch Garver to third, 1 away. And obviously we're seeing a lot of batters trying to take advantage of the quote-unquote first pitch strike to get ahead of the count. But again, you have to be calculated, and I need to see some bunts laid down by Victor Robles or J.P. Crawford or someone to help us get guys moved over. It's okay, Mitch. Hopefully he'll be able to settle in and be a little bit better version of himself here in 2025. First pitch to Jorge Polanco, the hero from yesterday. Takes a strike, 0-1 count. Yeah, he got rocked, huh? How did you enjoy SmackDown? Fatu, baby. Appreciate that, Odin. Polo, 213 last season. He'll be much better than that. Oh, crush that baseball. Whoa. Fading foul. Wow, almost an upper deck in foul territory. And Polo is really seeing the ball well in 2025. And again, spring training, and that's why spring training is important, to be able to pay attention. I don't expect everyone that's a Mariner fan to watch. Some of those games are, to some people meaningless, or they're busy and they have other things to watch. But I'm always going to be trying to watch as much as I can as Polo strikes out. 2 away. Third strikeout for Jeffrey Springs. Next up, first baseman Donovan Solano. Bottom of the second, 0-0 Athletics and Mariners. First pitch, a ball to Donovan Solano. This is the first time that we're able to see him here in 2025. And obviously the lineup change from yesterday's lineup different because we have a lefty on the mound instead of a righty. So that's why we're seeing Donovan Solano in the lineup, Mitch Garver in the lineup, and Dylan Moore in the lineup. So not really the best lineup for us, but hopefully we can find a way. Springs with some heat right down the middle, a little bit outside, but you see Solano chasing a little bit. 2 balls and 1 strike. But again, it could end up being relatively low scoring until the starters go out, just like yesterday. Solano crushes that one. Foul. Seriously, I think we're going to have this issue all season, 1 to 2 inches outside, and, we'll see what the strike zone looks like for this particular ump. I don't know if it is the same ump or not. It might be. Big swing and a miss. I don't know. Usually they have different umps for different games, but, if you got like a 3 or 4 game set, it could be possible. Big swing and a miss, and Solano goes down. End of the second inning, we're still knotted up at 0. Next up for the Athletics, back at the top of the order, right fielder, 0 for 1, Lawrence Butler. And I had to put Lawrence there on the thumb, and a new image of him, and I think it turned out pretty damn well. Batting second, another individual that had a rough night last night, DHing the best player on the team, Brent Rooker. 0 for 1, hopefully 0 for 2. And batting third, 0 for 0, with a base on ball, center fielder, J.J. Bleday. Exactly. Appreciate that, Nat, man. So it was nice. I was able to, download a couple new apps, on the phone. I already have it on my smart TV, but I decided to, kind of explore Pluto TV that's free. And, it's kind of funny because just a couple days ago, I ended up seeing a post on Instagram and X that ended up having the intros of old shows, from the 80s, like Perfect Strangers and Doogie Howser MD. And lo and behold, what do I find? As soon as I open up the Pluto app, they have like a Perfect Strangers like marathon going on one of their live channels. And what did I do? Of course I watched Balki Bartokomous, from Mypos. I had to watch him and Cousin Larry, do what they do. And, it gives you those wholesome 80s vibes, when you hear the little flutes in the intro and everything. And, again, you don't have sitcoms like that here in the present day. Obviously, they had a Beavis and Butthead channel, from the vintage Beavis and Butthead in the early MTV days as well. Pretty cool, to be able to find something that you watched when you were younger and then able to kind of tap in. First pitch there to Lawrence Butler in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Next pitch is high and out of the zone. Good eye by Butler, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now I got Pluto and Tubi on my phone and on my smart TV. A little slow dribbler by Butler. Throw to first. 1 away. I mean, I watch Tubi just for the NASCAR channel, just to watch old races and whatnot. No go there for LB. Next up, DH, Brent Rooker. Wow, holy moly. First pitch way outside. Good hands by Mitch Carver. 1-0 count. Top of the third, 0-0, A's and Mariners. Almost exactly how the game was kind of playing out yesterday. We just had to wait, for the starting pitching to go out. But Soderstrom had 2 homers against us, but thank God he didn't have a third. And we were able to come back and win last night. And it looks like Castillo La Piedra has started to settle in quite a bit. Ooh, Adams Family and Munsters. Good choice. Yeah, Severino last night was money like Logan Gilbert, a.k.a. Walter, was as well. Pitch inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the top of the third, 0-0, A's and Mariners. La Piedra, 2-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? Got him, let's go, baby. I like that, baby. La Piedra. Let's get that electricity going. I don't expect him to get, 8, 9, 10 Ks. For guys like Emerson Hancock and Luis Castillo, you're kind of shooting for like 5 or 6 because anything above that is kind of not realistic. Now, if this was Castillo in 2022 in Julio's rookie year, yeah, we'll be shooting for 10 Ks, and that's the standard for everyone. But, being realistic, not every guy on the team is going to be able to get a 10K outing often. Will La Piedra have a game where he gets 10 Ks this year? Yeah, he will. But they're going to be far and few between, if you ask me. Unless he ends up, playing a team like the White Sox last year, but White Sox this year ended up starting off 1-0. So again, you never know who's going to be kind of the bottom of the barrel in 2025. 0-2 pitch to J.J. Bleday. Pitch is low and inside to Garver. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Going to walk in the first inning. Center fielder J.J. Bleday. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch from LaPiedra to Bleday. Big swing and a miss, and back-to-back Ks from LaPiedra. That's what I'm talking about, baby. There we go. You had 2 walks in the first inning, and you're starting to settle in. He's only given up a hit. Nice job. And you're a hell of a lot better than Emerson Hancock. But again, you are our worst starter. You're not Logan Gilbert. You're not George Kirby. And I think, I'm not the only one. I think a lot of Mariner fans would agree that you have more confidence in Brian Wu and Bryce Miller, especially the way that they played on the back end of the season. You could argue that Brian Wu was our best pitcher last year, overall, besides Logan Gilbert, even though he didn't have as many starts. But the starts that he did have, especially late in the year, he was money. So I'm hoping that we can end up having a stellar starting 5. Go to the bottom of the third. We're knotted up at 0. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Making his 2025 debut here in game number 2, second baseman, it's Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second in the 9-hole, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Drop a bunt down, my guy. And batting third, back at the top of the order, right fielder Victor Robles. Drop a bunt down, my guy. Again, you got a couple guys here that can drop down the bunt, and I know it's not like the sexy thing to do, but like I was mentioning, not very many teams are prepared defensively for bunting. So if you lay the bunt down, towards third base or, towards the pitcher or first base, depending on if they're left-handed or right-handed, you have an opportunity for the infield or the pitcher to fuck up and freak out, overthrow first base, and then a simple bunt could lead to being a double, and again, I feel that is something that needs to be coached up more in the major leagues. You just don't see teams bunting on a regular basis. We started to do it, after I kind of bitched and moaned about it. I had to send a couple phone calls and emails and text messages to the Mariner organization, and they finally started doing it on the back end of the season. But again, hopefully we can get them to do it this season. Because again, bunting is something that I think a lot of people think, well, if we bunt, we're going to get out. Well, if you got that mentality, of course you are. But some guys are very good at the bunt, like Victor Robles. Got to see some bunts, especially if you've already gone through the lineup a little bit and you're knotted up at 0. If you don't have any hits yet, or if you have like 1 or 2, it's not going to hurt for one of your at-bats to be a bunt where it could actually lead to a single or double to give your team a run or a win. Let's go, Demo. One pitch from Springs to Demo, little dribbler towards first, flip to the pitcher, and barely got him. 1 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Primo in the building. First dono in 2025 for Primo. 2 Dalahala, and right after him on cue, Zay with a tenor. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Go Mariners. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, if anything. I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. You missed a good one here unless you were in the stream and didn't comment. We had a really good turnout for game number 1 for the opening day season opener. Zay with a tenor. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 12, and if you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Every one that we can get to get us to 20, obviously will help out dramatically to get into the algorithm. And we had 1,300 people, obviously yesterday, and we had, 60-plus likes, so that's pretty damn good. for obviously the season opener. So, and then no one else on YouTube is going to cover the Mariners, with this type of intensity and analytics and intelligence, as well as doing as many games as me. So I really do love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. And hey, go M's. JP Crawford pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Primo, are you going to go to any games this season? Have you bought any tickets for any upcoming games here in 2025? I only got 1 game. I'm only going to usually go 1 or 2 games, maybe 3 at the most. But back in the day when I was doing 3 games, as we have a 3-1 count on JP Crawford from Jeffrey Springs, I would stay the night in Seattle and we would do like a back-to-back. But since I have my pup, that's not really an option anymore. So it's like we have to go to a game that starts like at 1, and then we get back late, around 7 or 8 o'clock. Crawford crushes that one. Foul. But we do have tickets to see the Pirates on the 4th of July, and I'm really crossing my fingers that Skeens, it stays healthy, and then it ends up being like Gilbert Skeens or Woo Skeens. That would be amazing. And then if I can find a way to get a Skeens Cal Raleigh foul ball, then the universe will be in full tilt at that moment for me. JP, high fly ball into right field. 2 away. Bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs, 0-0 Athletics and Mariners. Next up at the top of the order, Victor Robles. Robles on that first pitch again. And again, I feel like Victor Robles in these first 2 games, he's like Julio. Why are you pressing and trying to be able to, get that first pitch strike? Because, obviously if Springs knows that you're chasing, he's not going to throw a strike on the first pitch. You should have already learned that from that first at bat. And again, I know these guys get antsy, but like work the count a little bit. Let it get into like a 2-2 count, or, I don't expect every player to get to a full count, but swinging on the first pitch, how often does that work out for players? Every once in a while, pure fastball, 4-seam right down the middle. They get the barrel right on the sweet spot. Back, gone. Yes, that does happen. Or you get a really hard hit single or double into the outfield. But more times or not, if you're chasing on the first pitch, you end up grounding out or popping up, and that's a wasted at bat. Come on, Victor. I would have rather him bunted and gotten out than that, but we'll see where it goes. Go to the top of the 4th inning, 0-0 A's and Mariners. Come on, bye-bye. Next up for the Athletics, catcher Shea Langeliers. Get yourself a chandelier contract, my guy. Batting second with 2 home runs yesterday, first baseman Tyler Soderstrom. And batting third, making his debut in 2025 in left field, Seth Brown. Let's go M's. Oh, nice. Oh, you couldn't get the day off? Oh, it's tough. Well, hopefully you'll be able to make it to the ballpark at least a couple times throughout the season. So, and then just a quick update for everyone that already has been watching. Tennessee beat Kentucky 78-65, which was a little bit of a surprise because it was a 2 seed versus a 3 seed. I think a lot of people thought it would be a little bit closer, maybe 6 points or less, but Tennessee broke out. Michigan State won 73-70 over Ole Miss. No surprise there. And then we got Auburn at Michigan right now. Auburn a 1 seed, Michigan the 5 seed. Auburn should win this game, but it may be a little bit closer, for Natman than he wants. And then obviously you have Purdue and Houston coming up in a few minutes. And I assume all the home strong seeds, the high seeds, should all win like they did yesterday. I would be shocked if Houston and Auburn don't win in this particular round. And then we got Rangers 4, Red Sox 1, Mets 3, Astros 1. Go Mets. Beat the Astros any way you can. Padres 2, Braves 0, Diamondbacks 2, Cubs 1. And then obviously the Dodgers, Tigers, A's M's were knotted at 0, but not for long. Final score, Rays 3, Colorado Rockies 2. Blue Jays get revenge from getting their ass kicked yesterday with 2 home runs from Adley Rutschman, 2 home runs from Cedric Mullins. They win today 5-2 in front of their home crowd. Good for them. And then the Pirates won 4-3 over the Marlins. A little bit of a lighter day today. Not every team played today after playing an opening day. Yeah, Alabama really has been the only team that's looked like, hey, we're the real deal. You know, it's not often that you get a college team getting over 100, let alone blowing a team out at this point in the tournament by as much as they did. But also, we've seen Alabama look like shit early, at some point in the year as well. So we'll see. But if they're playing their best ball now, obviously that'll be, best suited for them to try to make a good run. Top of the 4th with 1 out. Next up, Tyler Soderstrom. Pitch is low, out of the zone, but called strike for 1 count. Career at T-Mobile Park, 6 games for Tyler. 318 average, 3 home runs, 2 last night, 2 doubles with an OPS over 1,000, 1,100. Holy moly. Don't get any ideas, Tyler. You got your home runs yesterday, none today. O2 pitch. Pitch is inside. Almost graces the elbow of Tyler. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 4th, we're knotted up at 0, but we won't be for long. Again, even if that means that, we have to wait till the 6th inning, and wait for the starting pitching to go out, and then the game starts. It's like a marathon to start the game, but then it ends up usually being a sprint, for those last 3 innings, the 7th, 8th, and the 9th. And that's kind of the way the M's operate. There are going to be games where we get off to an amazing start where we get 1 to 5 runs within the first 2 innings. But again, it seems like it's going to be something that we're going to have to progressively just try to take it game by game and slowly get better and better and try to get everyone on the polo level. Easier said than done. 2-2 pitch from La Piedra. Pitch is outside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And also, too, we don't have Cal Raleigh catching. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage for the Mariners when you have Mitch Garver. But Garver did look better in spring training, hitting and defensively. Struck him out. There we go, La Piedra. I like that. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. Another punch out for La Piedra. Let's go, Castillo. 2 away. And next up is Seth Brown, and Luis hits him. Come on! Brown hit by a pitch. He walks to first. Doesn't look like he's hurt, though. Next up, third baseman, Gio Urshela. And even though that Luis had 2 walks in the first inning, again, Soderstrom did not get an RBI or a home run. And again, he's been a little shaky. But again, I'll take a little shaky and still be at 0 rather than being terrible and then we're down 3-0 at this point. Because again, we've seen a lot of Castillo's performances where he's lights out and he's only giving up a run or none or a couple hits or none for the first 3 or 4 innings. But when he is the bad Castillo, the bad La Piedra, that's when we're down like 3 or 4-0 in the first or second inning. And then that it's going to be a long fucking day. Big swing and a miss. Behind him to count 0-2 for Gio Urshela. And Urshela is the only one with the hit so far today, 1 for 1 with a single in the second. O2 pitch. Fouled that one off behind the plate. Count remains 0-2. And we'll be live for the Mariners tomorrow again at 6:40. Top of the fourth, 0-0 Athletics and Mariners. Runner at first, Seth Brown. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gio Urshela. Pitches low, out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you can definitely tell with this ump, and this is going to be something that we're going to discuss, throughout the whole 2025 season, regardless if we're talking Mariners or your favorite team. But these umps, man, I know it's not Angel Hernandez, but golly, sometimes it feels like Angel and his presence is behind the mound on every fucking game. There we go. Big swing and a miss and a nice punch out from Luis. There we go. We got to get a hit, though. Can't be going this far into the game with nobody getting hit. But I like the way that, La Piedra has recovered, from hitting a batter and obviously getting 2 walks early on. He's settled in. Now we just need some offensive production for Luis Castillo. Let's go. Bottom of the fourth. Is this the inning that we can get, something going in the top of the fifth? Bottom of the fourth. We will see. Kind of crazy weather, here in the Pacific Northwest, out towards Reflect. And in his area, a couple days ago, they were supposed to have like quarter-size hail, which is very unusual. We've been getting a little bit of rain, and I'm trying to be able to time it, where I have a 30 to 45-minute window each time I walk, so that way when me and Paisley get our 5-mile walk in every day, that we're not getting soaked. But sometimes, Mother Nature isn't going to care if we want to get dry, in our walks instead of just getting soaked. But, the sun actually came out for a few hours today, which was a little odd, but I'll definitely take it. We're at 12. Let's get to a hundo. 88 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Where are we at? We're at 20 likes. 10 more to get to 30. If you're in the room and haven't done it yet, please do. It all helps us as far as the channel is concerned. Thank you to whoever that was that just liked now. Now we're at 21. 9 more to go to get to 30. Let's go. And again, if this game is close, which I assume it will be, right, towards the end of the game, we should get a little bit of a spike, especially if we can be at 30 likes by the time that we get to like the 8th inning, especially if it ends up being close. All right, leading off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the fourth, Julio Rodriguez. Big swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trident's up, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. 1-1 pitch from Springs to Julio. Julio crushes that one. Foul. Strikeout in the first inning, 0 for 1 for J-Rod. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Julio. Jerry in the building. What's good, Jerry? Next up for the Mariners, DHing, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Pitch is inside. 1-0 count to big dumper. I kind of like these City Connect, jerseys. I know when they first debuted the black pants with them, some people didn't like them. Cal, dribbler, up to second base, run! Throw to first, and he's out. But I'm thinking, if I end up getting a new jersey, it'll probably be this one, the City Connect blue with the yellow. And again, I don't have money to get one, obviously at the moment, but, at some point in the year, it would be awesome, if that were, something I was able to do, especially, But it might actually happen, like when we go to watch the Pirates, especially if Skeens is pitching. I know my buddy will just buy jerseys for both of us, and I could always pay him back if I need to. So, but it kind of feels like we're both going to be getting Cal jerseys here pretty soon. And I know we kind of wanted to wait before the deal happened to see if Cal's going to be here, so that way we don't have a situation like when I ended up spending like $325 on 2 sewn jerseys for Devin White, and then he only ended up being on the Bucks for the rookie deal for 4 or 5 years, and then he's gone. So nothing is worse than spending big money on a sewn jersey and then the guy ends up leaving like the next year or shortly after. Kind of sucks. But that's a part of sports, I mean, I know there's a lot of other fans out there that have much worse luck than me, with jerseys, where you see people's collections and nobody is on the roster anymore. And they have a big stack of like 5 to 10 jerseys. So pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss on that 2-2 count to Randy Arozarena. Sit down. Jeffrey Springs pitching well, just like obviously his teammate last night, Severino. And we're still knotted up here at 0. It doesn't really help also that we have Garver, Solano, and Dylan Moore in the lineup. But with that being said, right, even though we have these guys playing for the first time since they didn't play yesterday, what's the excuse for JP? What's the excuse for Randy? What's the excuse for Cal besides, the food poisoning? And then obviously we need these guys at the top of the order to produce. Come on, fucking Victor. Drop the bunt down. Come on, Julio. Oh, yeah. Castillo, Edwin will go 6 or 7 innings before they pull him. I mean, especially right now, Castillo has a 1-hitter. Springs is at a no-hitter. So, again, both pitchers will be, pitching relatively deep unless some crazy shit happens in the next 2 innings. So. I know what we need to do to spark us. I know what we needed. We needed to do this earlier. I just figured we would have some hits by now. Here we go. Anytime that we're down or we're tied or we're struggling, you bust out the Mariner Moose, right? And it gives you the good vibes, and hopefully, and within the next 2 innings, obviously once the starting pitching goes out, depending on who we have come in, hopefully it's not like a Trent Thornton situation where he comes in there and gives up a home run right away. But I can't wait for the day where our whole pitching staff is healthy, including Kirby for the starters, so we don't even have to worry about Emerson Hancock, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, and having everyone there, with Castillo as well. But then, more importantly, I want to have a healthy Matt Brash. I want a healthy Troy Taylor. I want a healthy Santos and a healthy Munoz. And if we can get that to happen, then we're in business. Little dribbler towards third, throw to first, 1 away. Max Muncy kind of pressing there. Next up, Jacob Wilson. And you've seen both teams being overly aggressive on the first pitch strike. And half of the time, the first pitch from Castillo or Springs hasn't even been in the strike zone. Sometimes they're pitching way outside, hoping that those batters are going to get baited, and they have been. Trayvon in the building. What's good, bro? It's been a minute. One pitch. Fouls it off himself. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jacob Wilson. What's good, man? It's been a minute. Looking good. I love the profile pic, my guy. I love what the organization has been doing with the last couple of years. Post Super Bowl, a very exciting team, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams win the NFC West. Again, it feels like the Cardinals are always shitty. The Seahawks, are rebuilding, and obviously they don't know how to build the offensive line, but we'll see if that ever happens. The Niners are, kind of coming off a very bad year. Some players have left, so it feels like they're kind of in a rebuilding mode. And again, the Rams are super exciting. And again, if it wasn't just for a couple fluke plays, they would have beat the Eagles last year in the playoffs. So I really, really enjoy Sean McVay and everything that you guys are cooking. Even with Cooper Kupp leaving and going to the rival, obviously he's getting older, so you don't really need him. And I'm definitely excited to be able to see with Kyron Williams, Stafford. Even though it's kind of coming to an end, Puka, the defense. It's a very exciting team and a fun team to watch, regardless if you're a Rams fan or not. I always plug in and watch you guys. Pitch inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Lawrence Butler, but I hope that you're doing well, enjoying your best life. It's been a minute since we've talked and seen each other. 2-1 pitch from Castillo to Butler. Butler connects it all the way back to the wall. Get it, Julio. And that is a double for Lawrence Butler. And again, I put him on the thumb because I kind of had an idea that he would have a hit or two today, but as long as it's not a homer, we're okay. There it is. Next up, Brent Rooker. Yeah, but the best thing, about your team, it's kind of like Tampa and the Eagles and a few others. When you have a good ownership, a good GM, good coaches, good assistants, good coordinators, it doesn't really matter who you have on the team because those players are going to overachieve in that system. And McVay is still one of my favorite coaches. And again, they always have an amazing staff. They know how to draft better than almost anybody in the entire league. If you look at player for player, they always maximize their talent, and it's exciting to see what they can do. Back, gone! Brent Rooker, there it is, 2-0 Athletics. And you already knew at some point that was going to happen. They had bad games yesterday, Butler and Rooker, so I'm not surprised. Again, that Castillo gave up a home run here, and if we're really being honest, Castillo shouldn't even have been the number 2 guy. It's like they almost let him be the number 2 guy because he was the opening day starter for the last 3 to 4 years. But if we're really being honest, he should be the 4. Again, we should have had Bryce Miller or Brian Wu today. And just over the wall, Julio doesn't time that very well, and now we're down 2-0, very similar to yesterday. But again, we can still come back. This is kind of our MO. This is what we do. It's chaos ball. Not what you want to see, but again, the 2 best players on the team are not going to struggle every single game. And again, Logan Gilbert is a hell of a lot better than Luis Castillo. Nice job by Butler with the double. Nice job by Rooker. 2-0 A's. And I appreciate greatness, even if it's not on our team. Next up, center fielder J.J. Bleday. Oh, yeah, Jared Verse. I mean, people are stupid that they passed on him. It's like if you watched any college highlights, you knew he was going to be a monster. And then on top of that, if you go to a good team, yeah, they don't got Aaron Donald anymore, but they still play really, really aggressive and play well. And again, I love what they've been able to do the last few seasons. Pitches inside to J.J. Bleday. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, we don't know if Devontae will be able to stay healthy, but at least it gives you another big body and someone obviously to replace, Cooper Kupp in that exit. So, with Puka and Devontae, that's going to be a hard task, because if you end up doubling one-on-one, that's a nightmare, especially with both guys having that height and that physicality, for one-on-one balls. Top of the 5th, 2 outs. 2-0 Athletics with a 2-run jack just barely over the wall by Brent Rooker. Double there by Lawrence Butler at the top of the order. And that's what we need out of Robles and Julio. At some point, we need production like that. But Rooker was playing like a top 5 player all last season. And again, I know a lot of people wanted him on their favorite team, but I kind of had a feeling that he would be back with the Athletics. 3-2 pitch to J.J. Bleday. Get his ass out. Popped up. Foul. Count remains 3-2. Tutu Atwell. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't really expect anything from Devontae. He's not the same player as he was, years ago. I mean, he's still a decent player, but he's more of just like a name. Puka is a billion times better than him at this point in their career. All right, let's go to the bottom of the fifth, and let's see if we can get some production on our end. We're down 2-0. Shows you the difference between Logan Gilbert and Luis Castillo. Not to say that, Gilbert won't give up home runs. He will, but he did yesterday. Leading off for the Mariners, right fielder 0 for 2 with a K, Victor Robles. Batting second 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third 0 for 1 with a base on ball, DHing Cal Raleigh. And then at some point, you guys will get locked in with a quarterback, obviously after the Matthew Stafford, era. And it'll be interesting to see, where McVay goes. And again, I imagine that they'll end up getting someone that will fit that system very well, keep beefing up the O-line, beef up the defense. You got Kyron Williams, which is a quarterback's best friend. You got good receivers. You got good talent all around. Just, you're going to hang with Stafford until, he's done, and then we'll see what direction that they go moving forward after that. Lucas back in the building. The Brazilian Beast is back. How are you? Go M's. Yeah, I don't think Dart would succeed on every team, but he definitely would succeed on the Rams. There's a few teams that Dart would definitely, especially with the coaching and the supporting cast. But I don't think you guys really need to go for Dart this season. There's a lot of other holes that are more needed. But if you do, you guys, we'll see how that, kind of progresses. The quarterback class is pretty shitty this year. Cam Ward, if he goes to the Titans, he might fail, even though he might be the best one. Shadur Sanders, we'll see. Kind of seems more of like a me guy than a team guy. And then you got Jackson Dart. And then, project QBs like Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. But it's a very weak class. And I imagine, a lot of teams are just going to be waiting until the following year. Nice job by Mitch Gava to get a nice little base knock there. I told you at some point or another, Garver will be able to help us out. And he gets a base knock there. Nice job, Mitch. Next up, third baseman Jorge Polanco. 3 for 3 yesterday. We're going to need you to help us out here and see if we can move the runner over. Don't hit into a double play. Let's keep this inning going. Bottom of the fifth. Check swing. Did he go? Finding the count 0-2. There we go, baby. Polo on fire. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Garver at second. Polo at first, and what was a liability and a weakness in 2024 is now one of our strengths. Mitch Garver and Jorge Polanco, who would have thought? A lot of us were saying, hell, get the fuck off this team. And now we're like, okay, now you're actually earning your paycheck that you were supposed to from last season. Yeah, I agree with this as well. Nice job, Garv. Nice job, Polo. There we go, baby. First and second with no outs. We can get at least one run. I don't have to be greedy and say, hey, we're going to tie it up or get 3 runs and take the lead. Let's just take some baby steps here. It hasn't been pretty up to this point, but let's just try to get at least one. And then if we get one, maybe we can get two and tie it up. Cole in the building. What's good? Reflect with a 3-year. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts. Now we're at 15. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack bang bang. 85 to go. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. We can get photos at any point for you. Solano popped up, not very far into the infield in foul territory, and he misses it. Oh, good. Gio Urshela hit the showers, my guy. Thank God he missed that. And then I'm also kind of interested to see what we get from Miles Mastroboni, the former Cub. You know, at some point, hopefully Mastroboni and Solano, will pay dividends, and they won't be like Garver and Polo last year, where it was kind of like a wasted pickup, for those guys. But hopefully we can get something out of Mastroboni and Solano. But again, you just never know. Might take a while. Shout out to Reflect. Appreciate you. 2-0 A's. We're in the bottom of the fifth. 1-2 count to Solano. But not really ideal when you finally get Garver and Polo on board, and then you have the weakest part of the lineup at the bottom of the order with Solano, Dylan Moore, and JP Crawford. But you never know. Guys can end up being unsung heroes. But at this point, we need to get at least one run with runners at first and second with no outs. Now 1 out, obviously with Solano here. But come on, Mariners. We can't afford to leave guys stranded when we barely can get hits ourselves. And a big swing and a miss. Down goes Solano. And then hopefully we can get some photos of him in a Mariner uniform, not a Padre uniform. Next up is Demo, Dylan Moore. Come on, Dylan. You were like 1 for 20 in spring training. Wake up. Jason in the building. What's good, brother? Go M's. Bottom of the fifth, 2-0 A's with a double by Lawrence Butler, who got skunked yesterday, as well as Brent Rooker. But Butler with a double, Rooker with a home run, just barely over the wall, out of Julio's grasp. And we're down 2-0, but we got runners at first and second with Garb and Polo with back-to-back hits. And we'll see if Demo can be a hero. I mean, even if it's just a sac fly to, move the guys over, or, even a single might be able to score Garver from second, depending on how far it goes. Garver isn't really known for his speed, but if it's hit deep enough, Garv could score from second. But we'll see. 1-1 pitch from Springs to Demo. Dylan, drop. Yes. Here we go. Go. Slide. Fuck. And he's out at home. Fucking A. Mitch Garver, you're slow. Brutal. And we finally had a good hit by Demo, but again, the person with the slowest speed rating gets called out at home. Fuck. Brutal. Nice hit by Demo, but again, not ideal when you have the slowest guy in the lineup. And it was a good throw, and it definitely looks like he's out. Unless that foot got in there before the tag, but I think he's out. They're not challenging. Next up, can we get a hero out of J.P. Crawford? Are they challenging? Yeah, and he tagged him on the foot. So. I mean, great tag. I mean, if the tag wasn't on the foot, he would have been safe. But again, that was a great throw by Shea Langoliers, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's not always going to go in our favor, but at least we're starting to compile some fucking hits finally. And once Springs goes out, we'll be able to open it up. Just like yesterday when Severino and Logan Gilbert went out, then things started to produce for both teams. Pitches outside. And if JP Crawford can just use his eyes and be patient in the box, we might be able to get a walk out of him. We don't even need him to get a hit, you know? Runners at first and second with 2 outs. 2-0 A's with a Brent Rooker 2-run jack. Pitch right down the middle with a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike. Come on, JP. Come on, JP. We need that electricity, baby. Pitch is high. Good eyes by JP Crawford. 2 balls and 1 strike. Go Mets. We'll take Angel, Athletics, Astros, and Ranger losses on the daily. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by JP Crawford. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, JP. Way to prove that you can actually do it going from the 1 hole to the 9 hole. Let's go. Springs has been pitching pretty well like Severino yesterday. 2-2 pitch. JP crushes that one, fading foul. Come on, JP. We're just going to have to wait for starting pitching to go out, and hopefully we can find a way to rally like we always do. It seems like in every fucking game. Springs, 2-2 pitch. JP crushes that one foul. Both teams with only 3 hits up to this point. But the hits were a little bit more impactful for the Athletics. 2-2. Damn it, JP. That's the end of the 5th inning. 2-0 A's. Fuck. Let's see who's up next here in the top of the 6th for the Athletics. Next up, the individual that made the big play there, obviously at home, catcher in the cleanup spot, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, Shea Langeliers. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, 2 home runs last night, first baseman Tyler Soderstrom. And batting third, 0 for 1, making his debut in 2025 for the Athletics, left fielder Seth Brown. Oh, man, tough. It would have been great just to get at least 1, to kind of cut into the lead. You never want to be greedy, especially when you're down 2. Saying that we're going to get 3 or 4 or even 2. Just take, what they're going to give you. But unfortunately, there was nothing to be given. Judah in the building. What's good? Gained a couple subs as well. Shout out to all the newbies that we've been able to acquire for subs within the last, obviously few days and obviously in 2025. All right, we need this. Again, I even brought him out when it was 0-0. And I had a feeling, that Rooker and Butler were going to do well. I mean, usually, I'll put someone on the thumb that I feel that could end up having something special. But with Cal, playing DH and not being a catcher today, and having the bat from the right side instead of the left side has definitely hurt us. But we'll see what pitching we get from the A's after the starters go out. And then if we can get Cal the bat from the left side, you might be able to, go yard or at least get a single for us to help us go in the right direction. Little slow roll dribbler, throw to first, 1 away. And we got Santos in for the Mariners now. Go, Gregory. Soderstrom, wild throw to first. Holy fuck. And Soderstrom out. Yes. Overslid the bag at second base. Yes. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And again, Soderstrom got a little greedy there off that wild throw and then went off the bag and got tagged up. Nice job by the M's. That's exactly what we needed. Santos just came in. Lauren in the building. What's good? Let's go, Gregory. But I can't wait till we have Brash, Troy Taylor, Gregory Santos, Andre Munoz in that order at some point in the season. Pitches outside. 1-0 count. Top of the sixth. 2-0 Athletics. One 0 pitch to Seth Brown. Chops that one foul. Nice job by Demo there. One pitch from Santos into the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, and again, Castillo, I feel like they're just doing him a solid because he's been the opening day starter. But again, with George Kirby, having that shoulder inflammation, Castillo should be the 4. That might be a gut punch, but if we were able to put J.P. Crawford from the leadoff guy to the 9, full position, Castillo needs to wake up and realize you're not the second best pitcher on the team. Like, you're the worst one on the team, as far as the starting 5 is concerned when Kirby is healthy. You got Gilbert and Kirby at the top. Wu and Miller are a hell of a lot better than Castillo, and the only pitcher that Castillo is better than is our 6th guy, Emerson Hancock. That's it. So I would have loved to have been able to see Brian Wu tonight or Bryce Miller. Obviously, it could have been George Kirby, but he's injured. So pitches inside. 1-0 count. Santos. Come on, baby. That's a walk. Next up is third baseman Gio Urshela. Santos pitches inside, almost hit Urshela there. That one goes foul. Finding the count 0-1. Big swing and a miss by Urshela, behind the count 0-2. Come on, Santos. We need you, baby. We're in a hole right now. Let's go. You were injured for us last year. Mariner Moose, come on. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nah, man, the hell that ain't happening. Cooper Flagg is the number 1 pick in the draft. He's the best player in college basketball. It's not even close. There's no way in hell that happening, man. That's like a bias statement, being an Auburn fan. There's no way in hell that's happening. You know that too. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 A's. Next up, let's see who is up for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K because he hasn't dropped a bunt down yet. Victor Robles. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio, wake up. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, DHing Cal Raleigh. Like, Broom is a good player, but he ain't, like, as good as Cooper Flagg. He's one of the better players in college basketball, but, there's a big difference between Cooper Flagg and Broom. Come on, Mariners. We need something. I put you on the thumb, Big Dumper. So hopefully we end up getting a right-handed pitcher and he can bat left. And maybe he'll be the hero tonight. Maybe he can end up getting a solo jack or a 2-run jack to tie the game up. Or if we're really lucky, maybe a 3-run jack. And then we take the lead. But again, you never know how it all will play out. First, we need fucking Victor to show up. Then Julio. And then Cal can take care of business. Come on, baby. Try dance up. (30-29) Auburn, 18-17 Purdue over Houston, and then obviously Michigan State beat Ole Miss 73-70 in March Madness, and Tennessee beat Kentucky 78-65. And then you'll have Texas Tech and Florida tomorrow. Florida will win, and then you got Alabama and Duke tomorrow. Duke will win, and then we'll see where it goes. Obviously, as we go further on in the tourney, and they still got Springs out there. And look at Victor Robles bunting, like I told y'all. They should just put me on the fucking roster. They should just put me on the fucking payroll. I mean, he should have dropped the bunt in his first 2 at-bats. Finally drops the bunt, but I guess, better late than never, but it goes foul. Yeah, I mean, again, if Broom didn't have such a shot put approach, I mean, it's not as bad as like a Joakim Noah, like the way that he shoots. But again, his type of approach and shot putting shots, it's like, I don't know how good of a player in the NBA he's going to be. I mean, I don't know if he'll be on the Donovan Clingan or Edey, kind of level from the big guys that we've had in this year's draft. We'll see, how he develops and whatnot, but he's got a lot of room to grow. He's pretty raw. And that's not me talking shit. That's just me being honest. Come on, Robles. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Should have bunted in one of those first 2 at-bats. Dribbler towards third. Throw to first. 1 away. And again, normally when Victor Robles starts off, 0 for 2 or 0 for 3, does not get a hit in that first at-bat. This is typically what we get. It really starts and ends with Victor Robles. All right, next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. He's still looking like the Julio from 2024, but at some point, you got to turn it around. 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Don't even get a home run. Just get a fucking single. Or, work the count and get on with a walk. Hell, I'll even take a hit by pitch if we have to, as long as he doesn't get hurt. Just get on fucking first. Come on, Julio. But this would be great, and I would love it, but I don't expect it to happen here. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. In the zone for a strike looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Behind in the count. Come on, baby. One-two pitch. Pitch is outside. Good eye by Julio. We don't say that very often. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Lawrence Butler with a double. Right after that, Brent Rooker with a 2-run blast just barely over the wall. 2-2 pitch. Chop foul. It doesn't look like Julio is going to be our hero tonight. I mean, we'll see on the next at bat after this one. Maybe Big Dumper can get a solo dinger and at least get us, a run, at least something to cut into this lead. 2-2 and a terrible swing by Julio, and that is strikeout number 3. Come on, J-Rod. You want to be the face of the franchise. Guess what? You probably won't be pretty soon. It's going to be Cal Raleigh or one of our pitchers. Come on, Julio. You want to be a Hall of Famer, don't worry about that. Just try to be a fucking all-star. Baby steps, my guy. You're a popular guy. You got a lot of charisma. You like to have fun, but your mechanics need to be fucking changed. Next up, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. And again, I know Ichiro and Edgar Martinez and a few of the other batting, coaches have been working with him, but it's up to Julio to watch film. It's up to Julio to hit the cage. It's up to Julio to change. Big swing and a miss. And we still got goddamn Springs out there, so Cal has to bat from the right side rather than the left. Not to say that Cal can't hit a home run from the right side. He can, but obviously much better from the left, in my opinion. Which is inside, but called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Big Dumper. Oh, they called that a ball. Thank God. 2 balls and 1 strike. I figured that ump was going to not give us that. 2-1 pitch from Springs to Dumper. Popped up a mile, and that is fading foul. Andrea in the building. How are you? Nice comeback victory for the M's yesterday. We're going to need that same kind of effort here today. Who will be the hero? Will it be Randy Arozarena? Will it be Jorge Polanco? Could it be someone like Mitch Garver? I don't know, but we just need to be able to get something going. But we need the pitcher to fucking go out. We already had Santos come in for Castillo, but we need Springs to get the hell out of there. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh. But the longer that Springs stays in this game, the lesser of a chance that we're going to have to come back. Unless he ends up, missing his spots at some point and getting fatigued, but he's not showing any signs of fatigue just yet. End of the 6th. Now we have a 3-inning sprint, for the finish line, and we were able to win yesterday. I'm not sure about today, but I still have faith. Next up for the A's here in the top of the 7th, 0 for 2, second baseman Max Muncy. Batting second, 0 for 2, shortstop in the 9-hole, Jacob Wilson. And batting third, back at the top of the order, right fielder, Lawrence Butler. Had a double at his last at-bat, and then Rooker ended up bringing him home with a 2-run blast. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Come on, M's. And they still have, oh, God. All right, well, I guess Santos's night is up. That was quick, and they're not going to go another inning with him. And now we're going to bring in Bizzardo. Holy hell. Uh-oh. And Bizzardo isn't very good, so this could – that's like pretty much bringing Sauce in at this point. This could get really ugly right here. Hopefully Bizzardo will play well, but I got not a lot of faith. Holy hell. We need better mid-relievers. Get Durangelo ready so we don't have to worry about guys like Sauce, Trent Thornton, and Bizzardo. Fuck. Or get Troy Taylor healthy. Oh, Bizzardo. Fuck. There we go. Napa know-how. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch, obviously, that race, but I will end up watching the replay more than likely. Hell yeah, bro. I love that. Who are in the top 5 in the truck race tonight? Edward Bizzardo. 23 games, he had a 2-0 record, but that ERA is 4.88 though. You know, if he gets run support, yeah, but again, if he doesn't, top of the 7th, 3-0 count to Max Muncy, and that's not good. Come on, Pizzardo. I got no faith in Pizzardo, no faith in Thornton, no faith in Sauce. You know, it's like we need to have, you know, better players, and so we don't have to bring these guys in. You know, Matt Brash, you know, in the 6th. You know, then going, you know, maybe Santos, and then Troy Taylor, and then Munoz. You know, we need our guys there. Because anytime you end up bringing in like the backup to the backup of the relievers, you know, chances are it's not going to go well. Every once in a while it will, with like Sauce or Trent Thornton or Bizzardo, but I got not very much faith in those guys like with Castillo. Not a lot of faith. Castillo and Hancock, no faith, and I don't got a lot of faith in those unless we can get some pop-up and ground outs, and that's what we get, a pop-up there, 1 away. Nice job, Bizzardo. Way to be. Next up, shortstop, 0 for 2, Jacob Wilson. And, you know, based on Julio's struggles early on, I think we need to move him in the batting order. I think we need to move Julio to like the 5 hole or something like that. You know, let him know, you know, that, again, you're just not going to be able to sit at the top of the order, you know, behind Robles. We need to be able to, you know, kind of move guys around and be strategic. You just can't have the same guys in the same spot, you know, especially if we're struggling. Oh, Jacob Wilson. Right past Solano, and that's a single. Fucking A. On board again, Jacob Wilson. Not good. Next up, back at the top of the order, Lawrence Butler. Now the best thing that we can pray for right here is a double play to get out of the inning. First pitch to Lawrence Butler. Pitch is low and out of the zone. 1-0 count. 1 for 3 to Butler. A double in the 5th and a run. And as soon as he got that double, Brent Rooker took a 2-yard, 2-run home run blast to give him the 2-0 lead. Pitch is inside. 2-0 count. Yeah, I mean, if we're really being honest, you know, if we're looking at a lot of the guys, I mean, like Brash, Troy Taylor, Santos, Munoz, for the most part, you can trust those 4. But if it's anybody else in the bullpen, it's very, very shaky. But again, you know, Taylor is not healthy. Brash is not ready yet. You know, again, we've seen Santos, and he looked a little shaky. And then Munoz, you know, sometimes we get the good Munoz, the bad Munoz, but I don't like how this is starting to play out here. Shows you how important pitching really is, especially mid-relievers. You know, you don't want to have a pitcher come in doing worse than the starter. Jesus Christ. We're about to walk him here. I don't know if it would be that crushing of a loss. You know, Auburn did drop a few games right before the tourney, so again, defense and free throws have been a little suspect, and they haven't really blown anybody out recently. So, again, I know Natman is a big Auburn fan, but, you know, they haven't really looked like the best team in the country. They haven't really looked like a 1 seed, if we're really being honest. Duke and Florida look, you know, a little bit stronger, you know, based off their seeding, but we will see. And even though Bama put up over 100, you know, against BYU, it's like, I need to be able to see 1 seed blow people out, you know, not just barely hang around or barely win. You know, because if that's the case, then, you know, certain teams shouldn't be a 1 seed. They should be a 2 or a 3. Yeah, but it's not how you start the season, it's how you end the season, right? And again, if you're struggling going into the tourney, chances are you're going to lose at some point. Even if your team has got good players, there's a chance that you might not make the Final Four, even or the championship game. And, especially if you've lost like 2 out of the last 3 games going into the tourney. That's not a good look. You want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year, not losing games and then kind of crawling into the tourney and then hoping for the best. Pitch in there for a strike. We got runners at first and second. Bizzardo. Top of the 7th, 2-0 A's. Hopefully we can keep it like this. Next up is Brent Rooker. Already has a 2-run home run. Will he get another one? Hope not. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brent Rooker. But again, this game, if it gets past 2-0, the chances of us coming back is pretty slim. We have to keep it at 2-0 if we have any chance of trying to come back. Jams Rooker, and that is fading foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the best player on the A's, Brent Rooker. Yeah, sometimes you can't get enamored, by the number next to the team, in the tourney. You have to actually watch them play and see how they're playing against, those particular teams going into the tourney and then when they're in the tourney. Two count. And we need a strikeout bad here. Crush foul. Top of the 7th, 2-0 Athletics. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Brent Rooker in the box. Come on, baby. Find a way, Bizzardo. I got almost 1% faith, but hopefully he can find a way here. A strikeout or a double play. Come on, Bizzardo. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Here we go. 2 away. We got lucky there. Brent Rooker goes down. Next up for the A's, center fielder J.J. Bleday, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Come on, Mariners. Pitching change. He's out of there now. I actually would have rather had Santos pitch another inning rather than have Bizzardo come in. And I get it. We're trying new guys and giving guys playing time. Great. And now we're bringing in Sauce. Holy hell. Well, it's only 1 out, so I guess I can be okay with that. When Sauce comes in and he has to get 3 outs, we're fucked. But if it's 1 or 2 outs to go, Sauce sometimes will fuck it up. But sometimes he'll end up getting, a very cheap pop-up or ground out. And since we only need 1 out, I do have confidence that he could get 1. But again, if it was 2 or 3, then it might end up being 5-0 by the time that he ends up ending this inning. But with only 1 out to go, yeah, there's guys at first and second, but hopefully Sauce won't fuck this up for us. But I don't have faith in Castillo. I don't got faith in Emerson Hancock. I don't have faith in Sauce or Trent Thornton or Bizzardo. And again, that's a good chunk of the pitching staff, whether it's starters or mid relievers. But that should show you that's where we need to improve. And we have a lot of guys in the farm, but one guy that I really want to see this year is Durangelo. The guy that we drafted, and we may not see him this year. We might have to wait till next year or the year after, but he can pitch from the left side and the right side. So, if we're going to be giving Bizzardo and Trent Thornton, and we're going to give all these other guys a chance like Sauce, why not throw a guy that's raw? He can't do any worse than those guys, and he might actually be able to be a fan favorite and shine a little bit. So I can't wait to be able to see some of these other opportunities for these other guys to be able to get called up as a rookie or a farm guy that might be able to have better success than the guys that we already have on the roster. Unless they magically turn it around, but everything that I've seen out of some of those guys that I mentioned, it's, very hit or miss. Luis Castillo, good and bad. Emerson Hancock, typically bad. Thornton, it's a kind of a mixed bag. Same thing with Bizzardo and Sauce. So 53 games, 2-0 record, but that ERA, 3.49, not as bad as Bizzardo, but we'll see if he can do it here today. 18 walks off 38 Ks. That's way too many fucking walks. 18? Holy hell. Here, Paisley. Want to lay down? Forward towards first and foul. Love you. Want to lay down? Top of the seventh, 2-0 Athletics. Paisley's in here now. Lay down, honey. Lay down and spend time with Dad. Sauce, right in the zone, but not even called a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, terrible call there. I got to put a blanket on my pup here. I mean, when Sauce finally gets a strike and then the ump doesn't even give it to him, rough. And then that one was a makeup call. That's about 2 inches off the plate inside, and then he calls that a strike. Okay, makeup call there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is outside by 5 feet. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to J.J. Bleday with 2 guys on, and with 1 bad pitch, it could be 5-0 and the game is over. So hopefully Sauce can find a way. A little flip. Jesus Christ. And they're going home. A little blooper, and then how the hell do you not get the guy going home? What the fuck are we doing right there? It's 2 outs. You got 2 guys on, and you don't have the throw at first. Throw home. Christ. Bad awareness there. Why not throw home? Christ. What are you doing? J.P. Crawford, Dylan Moore, what the hell are you doing? 3-0 Athletics. And again, that shows you when you got guys in the bullpen, the mid relievers, and they're not good, this is exactly what happens. Again, and we needed that production out of Robles and Julio at the top of the order, so that way we at least have a run to give us a chance, but things are looking pretty bleak now. But we still have a couple innings to go, and hopefully some magic will happen. But fuck. I mean, if you can't throw to first, throw home. Have that fucking awareness. It's not 1 out or 0 outs. It's 2 outs. You only need 1. Terrible play there by the defense. Langoliers. Fuck, and he gets a hit. Jesus Christ. 4-0 A's. Yeah, this one might be over, just being honest. And that's the reason why we shouldn't have had Luis Castillo pitch today. He's our 4th best pitcher, when obviously Kirby is injured. He's our 5 if Kirby is healthy. Why the hell is he pitching as the 2 guy? That should be Bryce Miller or Brian Wu if George Kirby isn't healthy. If George is healthy, this should be George. 4-0 A's. Terrible. I mean, there's still a chance for a miracle, but and another hit. Jesus Christ. 5-0 Athletics. Make it stop. Make it stop. Soderstrom with a double, and then it goes into the crowd. And my point of talking about how, I don't like Sauce, I don't like Bizzardo, I don't really like Thornton, I don't like a lot of these guys. It makes me very nervous, especially if we have a starting pitcher that hasn't, really shown his best stuff. It's like if you got Luis Castillo and he's a little shaky, and then you bring in guys that are way worse than him, this is the kind of outcome that you get. Sauce, boo, garbage. He was garbage last year, and he's garbage this year. Garbage. Throw him in the trash with Oscar. And like, why the fuck is he still in the game? Like, how long do you want the bleeding to continue? We've already bled out. There's no medic that's coming to help and save us. I mean, we could have maybe ended this inning at 3-0, but, you know, continuing to keep him in. I mean, it's 5-0. One more bad pitch. It's going to be 8-0. Oh, brutal, brutal, brutal. Even Paisley can't bear to watch. Sauce, boo. As my phone is blowing up from all the homies here in the Pacific Northwest. Boo, Sauce, boo. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Seth Brown. Jesus Christ, he's like 5 feet off the plate. Get his ass out of there. You know, and also too, you know, when they have a lefty and we have to kind of modify our lineup, you know, having Solano and Dylan Moore, you know, not necessarily Garver because he was doing pretty good in spring training with Polo, but obviously this is not our strongest lineup. And if we can't get anything at the top with Robles, J-Rod, Cal Raleigh, and Arozarena, yeah. And if Polo can't, you know, will us to a victory, we're fucked. But at least we won yesterday. But it's going to take a fucking miracle for today. Jesus Christ. 3-2 pitch and he walks him. Why is he still in the game? Dan Wilson, are you having a flashback? Have you got reincarnated into Scott Service? Holy hell, pull him. Ooh. I mean, what are we trying to do? Get them to 10? 5-0 A's, top of the 7th with 2 outs, bases loaded. I mean, what now? A grand salami? Might as well. Next up is Gio Urshela. I don't even know why Sauce is rostered on this fucking team. He's terrible. And normally I like lefties, but not when they suck ass like him. And he's got Pacific Northwest ties, but we don't claim him. Dump his ass. Popped up. Someone please get that. Diving catch by Victor Robles, thank God. Otherwise, that would have scored 2. And we finally get out of the inning, but we're all dead. We bled out. 5-0 Athletics. Golly. All right, time to rally. Let's go. We got 3 innings. The bottom of the 7th, the bottom of the 8th, and the bottom of the 9th. Oh. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 1 for 2, catcher Mitch Garver. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, third baseman Jorge Polanco. And this is the 3 guys that you would want up in this situation, but it might be too little, too late at this point. But, I mean, I'm hoping something good can happen. Come on, baby. I mean, at some point, we need to get Solano out and Dylan Moore out and have someone else pinch hit for those guys. Hell, put Miles Mastroboni in there from the Cubs. Give him a shot to swing. Get Luke Raley in to pinch hit. Get someone else to give us a little bit of juice. And we ain't talking Sonny D. Fuck. We hit 30 likes, 10 more to 40. Likes up, donate, comment, share. We're at 31. 9 more to go to hit to 40. Let's go. I still have faith that we can get some, but again, 5 is a lot, just based on what's happened to this point. So we're not going to lose with a 0. We'll get at least 1, but not pretty. Not pretty whatsoever. We're at 15, 85 to go. You got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. But finally, we get Jeffrey Springs out of the fucking game. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks. But again, if we're talking about the Mariners, we can make anybody look like a Cy Young pitcher, regardless on what team they are. And now we have Sterner coming in. Come on, Randy. Justin Sterner pitches outside, but called strike. 2 feet off the plate, but still strike call. Come on, Randy. See the ball. I mean, we got to find a way to get on base with walks, hit by pitches, as long as our guys don't get hurt. Bunting, find a way. Pitch is high, out of the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike. Take the walk here if it's there. Three-one pitch, and that's outside for a walk. Good start. Good start. There you go, Randy. Good eye. Come on, Mariner Moose. We need a rally. Next up, catcher Mitch Garver. Come on, baby. 1 for 2. You were doing pretty well in spring training. It'd be great for you to hit a homer here. You get it to 5-2. Stop the bleeding. Gained a few more subs. Shout out to all the new subs. $81 to go to 20,800. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Bottom of the 7th, 5-0 Athletics. Runner at first with the walk, Randy Arozarena. In the box now with a 1-0 count, Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 for 2 with a single in the 5th for Garv. Two-0 pitch. In the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Two-one pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Take a walk here. Don't get greedy. If he's out of the zone, let's just get guys on. Maybe we can get bases loaded here. 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. From Justin Sterner. Come on, Garv. Don't swing if it's not there. Three-two pitch from Sterner to Garver. Come on, Garv. And that's a walk. Here we go. Here we go. Runners at first and second with no outs. Next up, our hottest hitter, Jorge Polanco. Now, I'm not going to expect him to go for a 3-run jack, but if he were to do that, we're back in this game. Come on, baby. Come on, Polo. Hell, I'll even take an RBI at this point. Come on, baby. Bring that electricity. Let's go. Now they're having a mound visit. They don't want to see their lead slip away. Come on, Polo. Come on, Polo. Come on, baby. Trident's up. Come on, Polo. Pitch right down the middle for a strike, looking to Polo, behind the count 0-1. Oh, Bruce Pearl action. Oh, 1 pitch, crushed, foul. Behind the count now 0-2. Come on, Polo. Oh, 2 pitch. Polo crushes that one, foul again. Still behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Jorge. Come on, Polo. Please. We need that electricity, baby. Come on. Runners at first and second. Polo pops it up, and it's going into the crowd. Good souvenir there, about 10 rows back. Count remains 0-2. Polo is grinding. Fucking get Solano out of there. If he's on deck, replace his ass with like Luke Raley or someone else. We got to, be a little bit more sharper managing this team. Wild pitch. And runners stay at first and second. We're not able to advance. Good defense there by Langeliers. Bottom of the 7th. Runners at first and second. Randy Arozarena at second. Mitch Garver as well at first. Pitches low and into the dirt. Almost hit Polo on the foot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice patience by Polo. Holy hell, I wish Robles and Julio could have this kind of patience. Come on, Polo. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And pitches inside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, shit. Come on, baby. Three-two pitch. Polo. Dribbler. Throw to second. And they got the force out at second. Fielder's choice, runner out. Garver out at second. Arozarena to third. And we got runners on the corners with 1 out. We should be able to get at least 1 here, you would think, but not sure if I really like the idea of having Donovan Solano here, but, it is what it is. And hopefully we'll have some Mariner photos that are up to my standard on the channel after today's game. Captain in the building, what's good? Yeah, well, Sauce fucked it all up. Bizzardo, it's like our mid-relievers, are not very good. Castillo gave up a 2-run jack to Rooker with Butler getting a double early in the game. But, it should still be like 2-0 or 3-0. But again, bringing in shitty mid-relievers, they should have kept Santos in, but they brought in Bizzardo and Sauce, and they just fucked it all up. And, again, when you have mid-relievers that stink, it makes you really wish that you had Brash healthy, right? Santos pitching longer, Troy Taylor playing, and then Munoz at the end. So, but I don't really have a whole lot of faith in Solano here as our new addition from the Padres. And I don't know about Miles Mastroboni either. He hasn't played in 2 games yet. So that one chop foul behind in the count 0-2 with runners at first and third. And we got Solano with a big punch out. See you later. And then we do get the Luke Raley for Dylan Moore. So at least Dan Wilson is listening. 2 away. Come on, baby. Should be a great time for a 3-run jack from Nuke Raley. Let's go, Nuke. Luke, we need you to nuke it. I mean, hell, at this point, I'll just take a fucking RBI single just to get on the board. Because they're stupid. You know, they brought in Bizzardo. Well, first it was Santos, and then they took him out after an inning, which they probably should have had him pitch another inning. And then they brought in Bizzardo, and then after Bizzardo, Sauce. Stupid. That was like a Scott Service type of move by Dan Wilson. Those guys stink. All right, I got to go make sure Paisley's okay. We're having a pitching change for the Athletics here. All right. Paisley moved herself to the couch, and I got a nice blanket, and she's snug as a bug. She couldn't even watch. She knew that it was not going well. So she's going to get a little bit more of a nap in. And again, you know, winning this game, not likely. But again, you know, the more production that we can get in these last 3 innings will carry over to tomorrow's game. So I'm hoping that we can find a way to get to a minimum of 1. But I would love for us, if we're going to lose, at least get to 3. That might be asking too much, but it all depends on who our, you know, mid relievers and bullpen guys that are going to be coming in, because if it's anything like we saw with Bizzardo and Sauce, we might end up losing 10-0 before this game is over. And now we got McFarland coming in for Sterner going against Luke Rayleigh. Come on, Luke. Well, they're up by 7. I'm not sure if that's really pouring it on, but hey, you know, you are a 1 seed. They should win. The game is a little bit closer than it should be, but not to say that Michigan isn't good. But I mean, if you're a number 1 seed with the number 1 team in the land for a good chunk of the year, they got to be playing a little bit better. But I would be shocked if they don't win. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count, 0-2. Oh, 17-2 run. Oh, I didn't know that part. That's, yeah, pouring it on. But just seeing a 7-point lead, you know. But that makes a little bit more sense. Then I will agree with you. Yes, that is pouring it on. Did not realize that they were down. And then they poured it on. Good job, Auburn. Way to live up to your 1 seed. All right, there goes Luke Rayleigh. End of the 7th inning, 5-0 A's. Yeah, I would be pissed too. I mean, again, you know, your team is good enough, you know, to make it to the Final Four at the very least. You know, and again, there's dreams of making it to the championship game, but depending on who you play, that may or may not happen. But they're too good of a team to be losing this early in the tournament, especially if you have been a 1 seed for a good chunk of the year. You know, you don't want to go out this early. So good for Bruce Pearl. And again, he's the most valuable piece on that team, and not, you know, John I. Broom. You know, again, if you didn't have Bruce Pearl, you would have never got to a number 1 seed, and you wouldn't be as good as you are, obviously, without him. That's facts. As I see, Purdue and Houston are knotted up at 31. Purdue hanging around as a 4 seed. Oh, baby. Let's go to the top of the 8th. We're down 5. Next up for the A's, second baseman Max Muncy. Batting second, shortstop Jacob Wilson. And batting third, right fielder Lawrence Butler. Come on, Mariners. Now I have to take a peek to see where the hell we're going now. It better not still be Sauce. So Bizzardo has an ERA of 27, and Sauce has an ERA of 27. Is that good? Someone fill me in. Is that good? That both have both relievers coming in and have a 27 ERA. Is that good? Jesus Christ. And they still have Sauce out there. Holy fuck. I mean, are they trying to make me miserable? Why the hell are you in the game still? And there it is. Back, gone. What a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. And these are the dumbass moves that we normally would see out of Scott Service. I didn't realize Dan Wilson was channeling his inner Scott Service. If you're going to keep a pitcher in again, do it with Santos, the guy that's good, not the guy that's the worst guy on the team. Jesus Christ. And that is a solo jack for Max Muncy. I think that's his first home run in his career. Hopefully they get that ball back for him. Yep. 6-0 A's. Oh. Next up, shortstop Jacob Wilson. Next up is Lawrence Butler. Throw to first. One away. Next up, right fielder Lawrence Butler. Well, being a Mariner fan, it's not easy being a Pacific Northwest fan. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Kraken, they struggle. Seahawks are on a rebuilding year. I imagine they're going to struggle. Blazers, young, they're struggling. The only thing, I guess we have, something to look forward to, maybe with the Oregon Ducks, obviously with Dan Lanning. That's probably the strongest piece, in the Pacific Northwest. And then after them, maybe the Mariners. But not a good outing here today, and a terrible managing performance by Dan Wilson in game number 2. There's just no reason that Sauce should still be in the game. And I know you want to be able to save guys for tomorrow, but this is like literally the worst player on the team. And he continues to show you how bad he is game in and game out. Fucking A, dude. And I know Dan Wilson isn't going to have too many moments like this, but again, it definitely gives me Scott Service vibes today. Popped up. Julio is there. 2 away. Next up, the individual that got them to Uncle Mo early in the game with a 2-run blast with Butler at second, DHing Brent Rooker. You better not hit another home run, but if Sauce is out there, it might happen. Well, I don't know how many Perfect Strangers episodes or Beavis and Butthead vintage episodes are going to cure my sadness here tonight. Fuck. 3 hits total. We're down 6-0, and our bullpen stinks. Hopefully we can get Natman with an Auburn win, so at least we have a winner of some kind in the room here tonight. No worries. I'll be live tomorrow, Captain. If you got time to be able to come through and hang, I think we will play better tomorrow. We got Bryce Miller on the mound tomorrow, and then we got Brian Wu on Sunday. So I think that we'll be able to do it. Yesterday we had 60 plus, Captain. 1,300 on 1,300 people for opening day. But obviously, if this game was close, we might have 20 to 50 people in the room right now. But obviously, being at 6-0, it literally will take an act, from the sports gods for us to even get a couple runs, let alone tie it up or win. So go get some rest, my guy, and I'll be live on Saturday and Sunday. then I got a decision to make on Sunday because Brian Wu, one of my favorite pitchers, is pitching, and that's at 110. And then obviously with NASCAR Cup, we've been, doing that, and that's on around the same time, I believe. So, and that's on at noon for Martinsville. And now we got another pitcher in, Vargas. So Bizardo's ERA after leaving the game was 27. Sauce's ERA is 18. Is that good? And now we got Vargas in. Oh, and there's another hit by Brent Rooker. Little single there into Julio Rodriguez. Top of the 8th. 2 outs. 6-0 A's. Let's go, Auburn. At least someone's winning tonight. But I still love my M's. Again, I've been following this team for, such a long period of my life, almost 40 years of my life. So, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, but shows you how important pitching truly is. Again, hitting, obviously, it matters as well, but, there's no faster way of losing a game than having shitty mid-relievers. And I think everyone in the room can relate. At some point or another, you've watched your favorite team, just shit the bed. And we have shit the bed so many times here tonight that the bed needs toilet paper. It is ugly. Top of the 8th. Runners at first and third. After J.J. Bleday gets another single. Fucking A, dude. Can the bleeding stop? Christ. Bleday with the single there. Next up, catcher Shea Langoliers, who made the real big play when Mitch Garver tried to slide into home. And if we would have gotten that run, maybe things are a little bit different. We still probably lose, but maybe we end up having 1 to 3 runs at this point. But all the momentum, all Uncle Mo, he's living with the Athletics. He left Seattle. Time is called by the ump. But even if I end up doing the Mariners game, I will be covering the race because it sounds like it's going to be on about an hour after if I decide to do Mariners instead. But I'll be watching both. But that'll be interesting, And then obviously Monday Night Raw is in London, so it'll be like the last early start there. But we won't be doing Monday Night Raw on Monday. We'll be probably doing Mariners. So if Mariners are playing, I'll have to look. Or maybe we have the day off that day after having these 4 games. Do we even have a game on Monday? I'll probably have the day off, I would assume. No, we play the Tigers. Tigers at 6:40. So technically, I could do Raw and that if I wanted. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike from Vargas to Langoliers. But it's nice that the European tour is finally wrapping up. I'm ready to be able to watch Monday Night Raw at a later time. And again, it's the road to WrestleMania, baby. But now we're in the time of year where I get all my favorite things. WWE, MLB, and NASCAR. And then obviously we have college football and NFL a few months away. Oh, we finally get out of the inning there. Now we go to the bottom of the 8th. We got 2 innings to get 6 runs, 7 to win. Not looking good. But you never know. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, Victor Robles. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, unexcusable, Julio Rodriguez. Come on, man. Come on, man. Did you get a chance to watch SmackDown, Sarah? Yeah, but the great thing about baseball, you have an emotional win yesterday on opening day. We're getting fucking drilled here today. But the great thing about baseball and having 162 games and having the most in any sport, that tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is a new day to forget about yesterday if it was bad. Obviously, if you win, you want to keep that momentum going. But obviously, sometimes hard to string multiple wins together in baseball, unless you're like the Dodgers, where you can do it at will. But we are not the Dodgers, and hopefully tomorrow we can recover and get the dub. But I'm definitely excited to see Bryce Miller, and then on Sunday, Brian Wu, and we'll have a good chance to be able to get 2 dubs there. Yeah, I mean, the card really wasn't too crazy for SmackDown. It's not like Monday Night Raw. And if it's March Madness is on, that's a little bit more meaningful. Random SmackDown in London or something that actually matters for March Madness. So I don't blame you there. I mean, I didn't even watch. I know Odin was trying to watch it and stuff, but I watched a little bit of it. But I tried to keep my my mental health at a good note. And as soon as I found the Perfect Strangers, I had to watch a couple episodes. It definitely brought me back, man. I love Valky. Pluto TV. I got Pluto TV, Freevee, CW, Tubi, Hulu, Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, and Peacock on my phone. So I got plenty of options, and then a lot of those on my smart TV too. So, and it's kind of crazy because it's like every app is going to have something a little bit different. Like I might not be able to find Perfect Strangers on something else, but it was cool to be able to see they had their own little channel for it, where I could just watch episode after episode. I mean, nothing is going to crack a smile for me more than watching comedy sitcoms from the 80s and 90s that I grew up with. And I love Perfect Strangers. One of the best ones. I mean, obviously, they had the spinoff of Family Matters. That was the spinoff of that show. But I love Perfect Strangers. All right, JP, you're 0 for 2. Come on, baby. Make it happen, Captain. Dribbler towards third base. Throw to first. 1 away. Next up, right fielder, Victor Robles. And it shows you how important Victor Robles is to this team. If he doesn't get on base and is one of his first 2 at-bats, might be a long fucking day like today. But if he does, then it carries over to Julio. Then it carries over to Cal. Then it carries over to Randy. And then whoever else after. Sports is all about momentum. And again, you want the top of the order to be good. And again, yesterday, the top of the order for the A's, non-existent. Lawrence Butler, right? Brent Rooker, nothing. Today, everything. And then obviously, 3 strikeouts for Julio, and Robles tried a bunt on his 3rd at-bat. Should have tried to drop a bunt in one of the first 2 at-bats. Ooh, chipper. Nice. Go to first. 2 away. I got really good memories from, that era. And even going further back. The Sid Bream, the Ron Gant, David Justice, Craig Maddox, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Steve Avery. I mean, I can name drop for days. Dion, Good old Ron Gant. Sometimes I'll look through my old binders of baseball cards that I collected in the mid to late 80s, early 90s in the junk wax era. And even though those cards aren't worth anything, just to kind of flip through pages in a binder and look at the names of all those obscure players, some good, some not so good, it definitely sparks, some good nostalgia for sure. All right, Julio's in the box. It's to the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Everyone's thinking about, hey, what's for dinner? I need a drink. This sucks. 1-1 pitch from Spence to Julio. Pitch on the corner for a strike behind the count 1-2. Larry Wayne Jones. Sounds like a cowboy or a wrestler. 1-2 pitch to Julio. Crushes that one. There we go, Julio. Finally, Jesus Christ. I was going to say he better not go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Fuck. Finally. We only have 4 hits today, but we'll take that. Nice job, J-Rod. Finally. All right, next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now, if Cal can go yard here, yeah, it's an ugly, loss. But if we could lose 6-2, that's a hell of a lot better than 6-0. Come on, big dumper. But I want him to be able to bat left-handed. He's only been able to bat right-handed because of lefty pitching. And now we finally have Spence, a righty. Cal could go yard at this at-bat. I mean, depending on if they actually give him anything in the zone. First pitch is inside. 1-0 count. Come on, Cal. Come on, big dumper. Spence, pitch low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to one of my favorite players on the team, if not my favorite player, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. I already knew he was special even in his rookie year because I never buy rookie cards or rookie card autos of players. And it was the first time that I, bought a rookie card auto of a card that wasn't graded. Obviously everything is like PSA, BGS. And, I bought it raw because I really did believe in Cal, and it was the coolest card I could find of Cal at the time. They had other ones that were graded that didn't look as cool. And I knew that this guy could be the franchise guy even in his rookie year, and he definitely has panned out. 2-1 pitch from Spence to big dumper. Chop foul. Chipper Jones Jr. Chipper, very likable. I got some Chipper rookie cards. They're not really worth a whole lot, but, they're just cool to look at, though. Now, if you had a Chipper, rookie card that was graded like a 10, or maybe some rare ones that were a 9, then, yeah, you got some money there. But big swing and a miss. Down goes big dumper. And that is the end of the 8th inning. We're going to the top of the 9th. And, we can't wait for this one to get over with. Okay, big dumper, I still love you. And now Lawrence Butler is putting up the 4s. I mean, what does that mean? He wants to beat us 8-0? Well, you're almost there at 6-0. Next up for the A's, Tyler Soderstrom. And then up after him, pinch hitting, Miguel Andujar. And then finishing it off in the 7-hole, third baseman Gio Urshela. Well, hopefully there's not too many games like this throughout the season. I know that it's going to happen and whatnot, but it makes yesterday's win that much better. Could you imagine if the Mariners started off 0-2? I mean, it happens for some of our favorite teams. $11 hits for the A's. And again, I think we need to stop catering, to Luis Castillo. Again, nice catch there by Randy Arozarena in left field. That might have been the highlight of the day. One away. It's like, it might be kind of a reality check, for Luis Castillo and JP Crawford, guys that were catered to earlier in their careers here, but, sometimes you got to call a spade, and some guys, end up getting progressively worse. And that's just how it is. Next up is Miguel Andujar. Like, if we had George Kirby today, the chances are we're not down 6-0. But again, anytime we end up having a left-handed pitcher, we're fucked because the lineup isn't very good. We need to be able to have our batters, with lefties like Luke Raley. We need him in. We need Cal batting left, not right. And then we can't have Solano and fucking Dylan Moore in a goddamn game. We need strong lineups. Next up is Miguel Andujar. Two-one count. Well, I was hoping to have a victory walk with Paisley Pup in the darkness, just me and her in the neighborhood, but I guess it's going to be a little bit of a walk of shame for today, but Andujar pops up 2 away. But hopefully tomorrow will be better, and I believe it will be, and I believe Sunday will be better too. Bryce Miller tomorrow, Brian Wu, and on Sunday, so... Oh, God. Back. Gone. You got to be kidding me. Luis Urias with a homer. You got to be shitting me. 7-0 Athletics. Man, pinch hit homer by Urias. Jesus. Oh, brutal. Getting a homer on his former team. He was on our team last year, and he said, fuck yo team. Fuck yo team. Home run. 7-0 A's. Brutal. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 9th. Last opportunity here for the Mariners. See if we can get at least one. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Randy Arozarena. 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Batting second, catcher Big Dumpa. No. Mitch Gava. And batting third, the hero from last night, 3 for 3. But today, not so much. Third baseman Jorge Polanco. I guarantee we won't be sitting 7-0 tomorrow or on Sunday. Sometimes you're just going to have a, bad, managing type of, matchup, and again, the mid relievers really, made this game, really turn into a nasty blowout. It could have easily been like 3-0, but again, when you bring in Pizzardo and then Sauce, a 2-run lead turns into 3, that turns into 5, and now eventually turns into 7. Good for Auburn. Texas Tech, Florida, Alabama, Duke. Auburn, Michigan State. Yeah. Oh, 1 pitch to Rosarina. Chop foul. Behind in the count 0-2. O2 pitch from Spence to Rosarina. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Randy chops it foul. Count remains 1-2. Oh, 7-0. The roller coaster of emotions after coming back, being down 2-1, tying it with Randy in the 8th, 2-2, and then Polo with a 2-run blast to give us the 4-2 victory. Emotions are much different tonight compared to yesterday, for sure. Hope I don't see another 7-0 loss like this for a minute. Spence on the mound, Rosarina in the box. 2-2 pitch from Spence incoming. Wild pitch, throw to first, 1 away. Randy with the strikeout. Next up is Mitch Garver. And we got Osvaldo Bido versus Bryce Miller. Straight heat tomorrow. Can't wait for that. We need redemption from this bullshit today. First pitch inside to Garv for a ball. 1-0 count. Oh, yeah. Both of them are going to be animated as hell, for sure. It'll be fun watching them roam the sidelines and screaming the whole game. One pitch from Spence to Garver. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Garv popped up and 2 away. All right, we're down to our last out now. And last but not least, third baseman Jorge Polanco. Not the best game. No, it's not. I mean, it could have been worse, you know. But again, if you're looking at a game of, a failure on how to manage a team, it's tonight, for sure, 100%. Oh, they got Master Boney making his season debut. All right, the former Cub. Let's see what he can do. Not Mike Master Boney, Miles. Come on, Athletics. Get the name correct. They don't even give a fuck anymore. Miles, not Mike. Jesus Christ. They give no fucks right now. They're like, we're up 7-0. We're just going to call them by the wrong name. Bastards. 0-1 pitch. Wild pitch behind the catcher. Oh, 1 pitch. Pitches inside. but this is pretty much the last player that we were kind of waiting on. I assume that he might get some time, tomorrow or on Sunday. Don't expect really a whole lot, just like I don't really expect a whole lot out of Solano either. Kind of reminds me of like Garver and Polanco from last year. You don't really have any expectations, but you hope to have some. Mastroboni, slow dribbler, and he beats it out. He beats it out. We get a single. How many runs do we get for that? 2? Nice job, Miles. All right. Maybe he should have started. There we go. Nice hard run to first base. And again, this game is fucking over, but I like the effort. Good for him. He gets his first chance of playing time, and he gets a hit. And it's a slow dribbler. There's a throw to first, but he runs it out. Nice job. Nice hustle. And I always look at guys like that for the hustle. Charlie Hustle. Next up, Donovan Solano. Throw to first. And tag is missed. Oh, they said he went out of the baseline and he's out. Fuck. And that's the end of the game. They said Donovan Solano went out of the base path. Are they going to review it? I mean, the game's over. Just let it be over. Fuck it. They're looking at the review to see if he was dodging the tag or dodging the collision. But either way, the game's fucking over. All right, there we go. It's a final. I was going to say, it doesn't matter now. Well, that was embarrassing, but again, hopefully we don't have too many games like this. Final score, Athletics 7, Mariners 0. But we got Bryce Miller on the mound tomorrow, and we'll be live for that. And then we got Brian Wu on Sunday. So I like our chances in those next 2 games. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Auburn and Natman. At least someone has a victory today. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatic. Shout out to Primo's Day and Reflect, as well as Sarah, Natman, and all the rest. I love you guys, and I am out. Go Mariners. Bang.